Today I'm here to ask you to please stop making that one mistake that causes you to lose streams, lose listeners, and basically sabotage your music promotion release. Hi, my name is Vince. I'm the owner of Very Special Music Promotions, and I work in the Americana music field, and most of my clients are recording and releasing albums, which I think is great, but they do one thing that sabotages the success of their music promotions. There are a few things you have to do to deal with various streaming and online platforms, and you have to do them in the right order and at the right time, and that's what we're going to talk about today. Now, the first streaming platform you need to be planning for is Spotify. They require a lead time to actually get into their system and enough time between the time that you submit your material to the time it's released so you can be considered for inclusion on their editorial or algorithmic playlists. Now, this is especially important if this is your first release. With Spotify, your first release does not get the opportunity to pitch to the editorial and algorithmic playlist people. So you need a release to get yourself in the system. So what I try to get my bands to do is come up with a single a couple of months before they're finished, put it onto Spotify. You need a lot of lead time for them to consider your song for their playlists. They will get you going quicker if you want, but they won't give you the consideration as much as they would if you had submitted it far in advance. Do it far enough in advance so you can give them a good pitch, they can consider it, and you have better chances of getting into one of their bigger playlists. When you get close to your release of your full album, then you're going to want to do another pitch. What you're hoping is happening is that first single that you put out got some traction, and hopefully you've done some promotion other than just pitching to Spotify and got your numbers kind of moving. So you have to time it all. And if you want it to all come out at the same time along with your CD release party and your CDs coming out. Now what you're hoping is that now the second releases come out and you've got a little more momentum. Hopefully they will listen to that music, come to your page and listen to more music. I've had some really good luck with a couple of artists who have followed this plan. They've gotten probably 2 to 3 times more plays from Spotify than the other artists who do it at the last minute and don't get the opportunity to pitch, or they have such a short turnaround time that even though they've pitched, they're not being considered as carefully. I had one artist that basically for the first month and a half, they had a lot of plays, and half of those plays came from Spotify generated playlists. So it's definitely worth it. I've done both ways, and giving yourself enough time to pitch and let Spotify figure a way to put you in their playlists will really pay off in the long run. So for Spotify, that's my recommendation. Now for YouTube, it's a lot easier. There aren't as many deadlines. There aren't any deadlines really, but you can do things that can help yourself when you finally release your full album. And the first thing is making sure you have your channel set up so it looks good. So people can find things on it. So it's organized in maybe the album, music videos, lyric videos, shorts. What you're doing with all of these sites is you're trying to trigger the algorithm. You're trying to show the algorithm that your material is worth promoting. You can put your stuff up on YouTube and it'll sit there. Your friends will come. You maybe do some YouTube advertising. But what you really want is you want YouTube to do some work for you. You want them recommending it to people. You want them to recommend it to people you don't know. And you want to grow your fan base. You want to grow your subscriber base. And this comes from having a lot of releases, having a lot of activity. So before the full album comes out, it's a good idea to put things up. If you can put a single, that's great. Another good thing you can do is do shorts that kind of preview a little bit of the album. It's why I love YouTube as the best streaming site. There's so many different ways you can promote your music, and I'm going to do a special video just on YouTube because I think you can reach more people, you can reach better people in terms of committed listeners on YouTube than you can on Spotify. So let's talk about Apple Music. You can do a couple of things. You can do pre-saves and you can do pre-sales, and there's a few other things. I haven't done them. They're not really been on my client's radar, so we haven't delved into it too much. Now, the final area is radio promotion. It's actually a little bit too big to talk about in this video, so I'll save it for a separate video. But again, you need to be ahead of the game. You need to have your material into your distributor early enough with a long lead time to your release so you can get access to your ISRC codes and your UPC code, which won't come from disc makers until the CD has been manufactured. And it just takes a week or so if you're doing just digital distribution like CD Baby. And then you can get those codes, and what you're going to want to do is make metadataed files. That's a file that has song information, ISRC code, cover for the album or the single, songwriter information, and that sort of thing. And you want to be able to have those all prepped and ready to go on a download site. So as you're sending out to a lot of the radio stations digitally, they'll be able to access your files with the metadata that they need. So you get credit. If you don't send out metadataed files to radio stations, you may not get paid from anybody. It won't show up in most of the charts because you need an ISRC code. So you want to have that done in advance. There are a few other things you need to do, and I will talk about them in another video. So basically, this is why I'm saying think about your strategy for promotion 2 to 3 months out. If you wait till the last minute, you're going to lose a lot of these opportunities, and it's either going to be you won't show up on charts, you won't be credited for play. So hopefully this helped. If you liked it, please subscribe, give it a thumbs up, hit the bell so you're notified of future videos, and thank you for watching.